Social commerce already makes up about 18.5% of online sales, and by 2026, it could hit $2.9 trillion globally. To find out how this trend is transforming the market, we are joined by Dipashree. Di, what's changing in the way people discover products on social media?
Specifically, I would like to highlight probably three to four trends that I have noticed myself in what we call social commerce, right? A lot has changed on discoverability. I feel that, or I see rather, that consumers are actually discovering content on social media through actually really great content. Secondly, you're also discovering it through some of your favorite creators. And that's very interesting because creators are people that you trust. And increasingly, the rise of micro and nano creators, especially in the last couple of years, versus the really big ones with millions of followers, that's been on the rise on social commerce. Thirdly, I think one of the big trends that none of the social commerce brands can shy away from is the need to foster a really strong community and the spirit of a community when it comes to growing their brands online. Because very often what's happening is before a brand becomes a trend on social commerce, customers are making it a trend in their communities. And the last one that I think has been on the rise slowly, but very, very steadily in the last couple of years, might I add, has been the rise of what we call interactive shopping or live shopping. I think one of the markets that's taken a very big lead in that has been China. But I think even here in Singapore, we see a lot of live shopping happening. You just have to hop onto TikTok, you just have to hop onto Instagram, and you will see live streaming shopping really become one of the biggest deals really in shopping. So I'd say these are some of the four big trends or four big ways in which consumers are shopping online socially.
But beyond recommendations, can you explain how AI is enhancing social commerce experiences?
Oh, AI has a huge role to play in social commerce, and I think we are just honestly just scratching the surface here. I think let's look at what AI can do with predictive analysis and recommendations, right? So if you look at some of your favorite sites or some of your favorite shopping apps, or let's say you really love shopping on TikTok or on Instagram or on Meta, it's probably because they have been very successful in creating what is called a personalized experience for you. That's number one. Number two, I think, and this is very important for smaller social commerce businesses, especially those that don't want to have massive inventory blocking their cash flow. I think AI can be very, very helpful in trend forecasting and in inventory management. So while I do say that smaller brands benefit from it, even bigger brands like Zara, for example, do use AI to do their inventory management. The third area where I think AI can really help is reviews and recommendations. Now, imagine being a brand and imagine having to trawl through thousands, and if you're a big brand, especially hundreds of thousands of reviews and recommendations. AI can do that in double, triple that time, and AI can really help you understand and distill down the reviews and sometimes criticisms that you have received and even suggest what should be the right action.
These are all very good examples, but actually, one of the issues that we've noticed recently is that people are kind of uncomfortable seeing ads that are very targeted to their interests. With that, how can brands meet growing demands for ethics and transparency to address this?
I think one of the things that you could do is honestly be upfront and honest about your policies. So if there has been a policy change or a comms change, you could communicate it sort of very openly. And today everyone has a social handle, so there's really no excuse for sort of hiding it in some terms and conditions that you know that no one's going to read. So you could honestly make a fun reel or a fun post out of it and communicate to your customers. Secondly, you could, like many brands do, and some really big brands do without naming them, they actually ask their customers or their communities, and we spoke about community a while back, for reviews and recommendations on how they can be better. Thirdly, for example, behind the scenes actually really helps in sort of building trust, building belief that you are ethical as a brand. So this is a brand that we all know and love. Lush Cosmetics actually does really well to take you behind the scenes to their factories on how they're manufacturing, on how their processes actually really work. So that's a really nice content friendly, algorithm friendly, social friendly way of almost telling you how our cosmetics are manufactured, right? Lastly, but not least importantly, I would say, it's a very brave way of doing this. But when you have failed, uh, I think it's important to own up. So uh, brands like Netflix, brands like IKEA do that very well. In the past, in my time at Netflix, when we internally we used to call it when we screwed up, it's always better to own up and say sorry, because consumers and fans and customers will love a brand that has humility and is able to accept what they have done wrong. So I'd say these are some of the things that brands can explore to come across as more humane, to come across as real, and to sort of keep the doors open when it comes to the more sensitive issues that you have just mentioned.
Thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your insights, Dee.
Thank you, Cess. It's been a pleasure.
Once again, that was Dipashree Das, Senior Marketing Leader, who will also be speaking at the Retail Asia Summit on November 20. So for more news and a chance to network with industry leaders at the Retail Asia Summit, don't forget to sign up at retailasia.com.